Let's start the show with India's Jammu and Kashmir, where the situation is tense. The region has been witnessing a spate of terrorist attacks against Hindu minority over the past few months. In the latest, two Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists barged into a government office in Kashmir's Budgam district and shot point blank at Rahul Bhat, a Kashmiri Pandit who was a government employee over there. The death of Rahul Bhat has triggered protests and raised questions about the security of the minority community in the valley. We have a detailed report. The spectre of 1990s horror has come back to haunt the valley with the selective design of targeting and killing a member of the Hindu community. On May 12th, Jammu and Kashmir witnessed yet another instance where a Kashmiri Pandit was targeted and killed by park-backed terrorists. Rahul Bhat, a Kashmiri Pandit who was a clerk in the revenue department, was shot dead by terrorists in Budgam district. Two Lashkar terrorists barged into his office in broad daylight and shot him down. He was immediately taken to an hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. Triggered by the attack, Pandits in Kashmir held protests at several places against the killing of Rahul Bhat and demanded stern action against the terrorists. Rahul Bhat's family, drowned in sadness over the cold-blooded murder, remain inconsolable with tears continuously rolling down their eyes. His wife kept crying copiously over the sudden tragic death of her husband.
कितने हालात खराब है उधर, इतना दूर रखा था, एक सिक्योरिटी गार्ड नहीं था उधर जब तक वो रिवॉल्वर लेके अंदर घुस गया। मैंने उसको बोला था तो डीसी ऑफिस ही बैठा कर डीसी ऑफिस ही ट्रांसफर करा ले, नहीं किया, डीसी ने ट्रांसफर नहीं किया, उसको नहीं किया, किसी को भी नहीं किया उसने ट्रांसफर, कहीं पे भी नहीं, दूर दूर है सारे। ये 2 घंटे लगते थे उसको वहां जाने में, वहां से आने में। कुछ नहीं बोला था, कुछ भी नहीं बोला था, उसके सारे बहुत अच्छे थे, सारे उसके साथ अच्छे थे, बोलता मुझे कोई नहीं नुकसान पहुंचा सकता, मुझे सारे बहुत वहां पे इज्जत करते हैं, सारे इज्जत करते हैं, मगर उन्होंने भी नहीं बचाया। किसी से तो पूछा होगा उन्होंने कि ये क्या है क्या नहीं है, उनको कैसे पता चला यहाँ पे ये है।
The recent killing of Rahul Bhat is just another addition to the list of attacks on Kashmiri Pandits in the valley. Last month, on April 13th, a terrorist shot down and killed Satish Kumar Singh, a Rajput, outside his home in Kakaran village bordering Shopian and Kulgam district. On April 4th, terrorists shot and injured a Kashmiri Pandit Balakrishnan Bhat in South Kashmir's Kulgam. In last 6 months, more than 7 members of the minority community have been selectively killed, including 2 Kashmiri Pandits. Attacks on the Hindu community in Jammu and Kashmir have witnessed a spike in the last few months. Recently, banned terror group Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front exploded a bus full of pilgrims headed from Katra to Jammu near Gharmal, in which 4 people lost their lives and 22 were injured. According to a recent data produced by the Ministry of Home Affairs, 14 members of the Hindu community have been killed by terrorists in the valley between 2019 and 2022. Of late, terrorist handlers sitting in Pakistan have changed their strategy as far as attacks and targeted killings are concerned. They are now concentrating mainly on soft targets.
ये किस्सा तो 32 साल पहले शुरू हो गया था, जब से 1989 में टिकला टब्लू की शहादत हुई थी। तब से लेकर आज तक पहले इन कश्मीरी पंडित 3000 कश्मीरी पंडितों को वहाँ पर मौत के घाट इन्होंने उतारा। उसके बाद 6 लाख लोगों का पलायन इन्होंने कर दिया। आप भाग जाओ, नहीं तो हम मार देंगे आप, या तो कन्वर्ट हो जाओ या तो इस्लाम आप कबूल करो। मस्जिदों में लाउड स्पीकरों में वहाँ पर उन्होंने चलाया कि भाग जाओ। मैं सरकार से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, कश्मीरी पंडितों को एक जगह बसाइए, उनकी नौकरी भी उसी के आसपास दे दीजिए और सिक्योरिटी दे दीजिए, तब जाके वो वहाँ पर सेफ रहेंगे।
Kashmir was witnessing the return of peace once again, and people had understood that terrorism and separatism cannot flourish in Jammu and Kashmir. This is the biggest pain for Pakistan, which has been trying to internationalize the Kashmir issue for over 7 decades. By creating a communal rift, it wants to give a few more days of life to the dying terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. It also wants to reinstate fear in the minds of common Kashmiri people that to get killed one not needs to be an influential person, being from a minority community is sufficient enough. Their tactics are kill one and scare 1,000. That is how they have succeeded in hounding out the entire population of Kashmiri Pandits from their roots. However, such barbaric terror acts will not succeed in undermining Jammu and Kashmir development journey, as people in Kashmir will not let this conspiracy succeed.